Oh, that's a Beatles? Make sure it's not. Are we good? We're good? Okay.
We'll be on page 638. Die, 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 bat ve'in sorechem kemo bavat Duro yikra leven im bat ve'in sorechem kemo bavat Neim shimchem velo Shabbat Shavu Shabbat. From the top, Tiro Yikra, Tiro Yikra, Leven, Imbat, Ve'yin Sorechem, Kemo, Bavat, Tiro Yikra, Leven, Imbat, Ve'yin Sorechem, Kemo, Bavat. Im Shimchem Velo Shabbat, Shavu Benuhu Beyom Shabbat, Shavu Benuhu Beyom Shabbat. Let's just try it in a nigun. Just die it one more time. Die, 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 die,
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to all of you. It's nice to see you this evening. Before we start our service, I just wanted to acknowledge what I think a lot of us are aware of from the news, from the internet, that anti-Semitism, of course, has always been with us, and sadly, tragically, it always will. But in the last few days, last few weeks, we've seen anti-Semitic tropes, anti-Semitic memes, anti-Semitic words come out of the mouths of celebrities, professional athletes, politicians running for office. And it really should remind us that we always have to be vigilant about anti-Semitism. We always have to call it out when we see it. But in my opinion, and I have felt this way for a long time, one of the best ways, not the only way, but one of the best ways to combat anti-Semitism is to build a robust, joyful, strong, and growing Jewish community. And if we have a strong community, and if we support that community through our time, through our volunteer work, through our financial resources, if we support our Jewish communities wherever we live, that is one of the best ways we can defeat anti-Semitism. If we build schools for our kids, if we have services where people come and worship with fellow members, if we do those kinds of things, we will stick around for another 6,000 years, I'm convinced. And what better way to acknowledge the idea of growing a community, building a community, maintaining a community, than by honoring some of its newest members. And so on this Shabbat Lech Lecha, we want to honor some of the Jewish men and women who have joined CBS during the past couple of years. And we're pretty liberal about what those 2 years mean. So if it's been 3 years, that's okay too. But those of you who are here tonight who've joined CBS within the last couple of years, why don't you please stand up? We have a special oneg for you waiting later. I have some words I want to say a little bit later. Before we start, and I'm sorry I don't have a mic, but why don't we start with you, Cynthia? Just share your name and when you joined CBS, and we'll just go around really quickly. And just speak up.
I'm Cynthia Cohen, and I joined a little over a year ago, actually, before I moved here, and thrilled to be a new member.
Great.
Barbara Schwartz and Joel, my husband, and we joined just this year.
Wendy?
Wendy Ellen Cochran, and I joined this July.
I'm Louise Shane, and I joined her 52 years ago. And she joined here 1 year ago with me.
Okay, good.
Alan Goldstein and
Lauren Goldstein.
we joined just before the holidays a few months ago.
Great. Thank you.
I'm Bonnie Kleinman, I'm here, and this is Forgotten. We're from Seattle, and we joined
Thank you. Please.
I'm Fred Hacker and my wife Candace Hacker, and we joined a little over a year ago. And during COVID, and so now we're able to become more engaged.
Good. Well, you can sit. Thank you. Welcome to all of you and to all of our new members. Some of our new members, do we have more? Oh, why don't you just stand up and share your names?
For my name?
Yes.
Well, I think we have Cy Caulfield, and we came from Roseville and made a home in Fairfield. And I was born in Belgium, and here I am.
Okay. Welcome.
I'm Beverly Carfield. Traffic's really bad tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You only missed the first couple minutes. So we have some new members who've joined over the last 2-3 years who I don't see tonight. So maybe they're watching at home, or maybe they're not with us tonight. But of course, we honor them as well, and they'll be with us in spirit as we lift a glass of wine a little bit later tonight. So I'm going to call all of you up a little bit later in the service. But what I'd like to do now is call Judy Nystrom up, board member extraordinaire, to lead us in the candle lighting on page 120.
How do we get the key right now? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
They rehearsed a little bit, but I'm not telling anybody. Let's continue on page 138 with Lachado D. Now, some of you were at my seminar on Wednesday where we looked at the entire Friday night service and discussed its history, its structure, its meaning. And I mentioned how there are a number of prayers at the beginning of services on Friday night that are relatively new in the Jewish tradition, 500 years old. And this is one of them, Lachado D, arguably one of the most famous of the Kabbalat Shabbat songs. So there are many melodies for this. Gordon's going to lead us in whichever one you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing this one.
This one, okay.
Lecha dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad yishmiyanu El hamiuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad U'shemu teferet v'letila V'chadoti likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela V'chadoti likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat V'chuvan elcha Ki mikor habracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh V'machshavat techila V'chadodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela V'chadodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela. Now we're going to go to number 8 on the next page. Yamin usmol tiporti v'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yad ishen parti v'nishmecha v'nagila lechadodi v'kakala Penei Shabbat dekabla, dekadodi, dekrat kala, pene Shabbat, dekabla. Last verse.
Please rise.
Rise. We face the entryway. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha, uvesohola, toch emune, am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Kala, pene Shabbat, dekabla, bechadodi, bikrat kala, pene Shabbat, dekabla.
Now that we've welcomed the Sabbath bride into our sanctuary, please remain standing and turn to page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkada v'yitkada shemei rabba v'yalma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute b'cha yechon uv'yom echon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imeru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Ulol Me'al Maya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yithale V'yithalal Shemei Lekudasha B'richu Le'ila Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'yalma v'imeru. Amen.
Our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, is on page 146.
Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai Hamivorach Baruch Adonai Hamivorach Hamivorach Le'olam Ba'ed Hamivorach Hamivorach Le'olam Ba'ed.
Please join me in English at the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Okay, they've just been standing for a long time.
I know.
Oh, okay.
After this.
Okay. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot bein einecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tiskaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kiroshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 156. Please join me at the top of the page. I'm sorry, page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Mi Chamocha is on page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilo, osek pele. Nora tehilo, osek pele Adonai, imloch leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, okei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'lianu v'yamru, Ze'lianu v'yamru, Adonai, imloch leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh.
Page 161. We recently celebrated Sukkot, the Feast of Booths, at Hagafen Winery just a few weeks ago. And this is a prayer that we have an opportunity to say every Shabbat, where we talk about a different kind of a sukkah of peace, a shelter of peace that we ask God to cover over us every single week. So I'd like to ask you to please join me at the top of the page as we read the translation of the prayer. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the nights, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We turn now to page 164 for the Amidah. We're going to say the first three blessings together and then continue each of us in our own way silently. And then I'd like to ask you to please be seated after you have finished. For now, if you're able, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach, ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mechalchel Chayim b'Chesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei holim, umatir asurim, umikayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha bagavurot, umidom melach, melech meimit umechayeh, umatmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atala hachayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukdoshim b'chol yom, yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Middle of page 179. We're just going to start with the sounds A and O. A, O, O, A, O, O, Lo yisagoye goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoye goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. So the center, you're going to keep singing Ayo, Ayo, O, Ayo, O. Keep doing that, and the sides you're going to do Lo yisagoye goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoye goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Now you're going to switch. E yisagoye goy cherev, O. Everyone, Ao. Ao. Oh. Throw in harmony if you feel like it. Ao. Oh. One more time.
We pause now in our service to think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our CBS family or those known and loved by our congregation. Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camissia, Joshua Hyman, Diane Butler, Jesse Friedman, Marjorie Gilberg, Michael Blend, Jim Mates, Janet Marbury, Harriet Lehman, Brenda Flood, Bob Massey, Bill Lenish, and Sharon Blevis. And if anyone has a name they would like to add to our list, I invite you to please do so. The Misha Berach is on page 511. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos again. So nice to see so many of you tonight. What more appropriate Torah portion could there be for a new member Shabbat than a Torah portion that highlights the birth of the Jewish people? And that's what Lech Lecha represents. It's Genesis chapter 12, verse 17. Some of you know that I write a regular column for the J Weekly, and this piece that I'm going to read for you tonight was published this morning. At the start of the Torah portion, Lech Lecha, the one we read on this Shabbat, God calls out to a Mesopotamian man named Abram, completely out of the blue, but with a compelling and unusual charge. Go forth from your native land and from your father's house to the land that I will show you. Why does God choose Abram rather than someone else? And why must he leave his homeland and his family? Toward what mysterious terra incognita is he going to be guided? Well, we never learn from the text, from the Torah, why Abram is selected from among all other people, nor which land yet he's being led to. God does make it clear to the future patriarch of the Jewish people that the result of his action, the reward for his fealty to the divine call, will be great. And this is a quote: "I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and curse him that curses you, and all the families of the earth shall bless themselves by you." This scene, in essence, the origin story of the Jews, and ultimately of Judaism, occurs after the prehistorical section of the Torah, the primeval narratives about Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, Noah and the flood, and the Tower of Babel. Does Lech Lecha represent not just the birth of the Jewish people, but also the birth of history itself? The Torah portion gets its name from the first two words that God utters to Abram, the odd grammatical construct, Lech Lecha. It literally translates from the Hebrew as "go to yourself," or "betake yourself." But how have commentators interpreted it over the centuries? Rashi, we're going back about 1,000 years, he conceives of the phrase in personal, familial terms, as "go for yourself, for your own benefit, for your own good. There, in the land of Canaan, I will make of you a great nation, whereas here in Mesopotamia, you will not merit the privilege of having children." So for Rashi, this was all about Abraham being able to have children with Sarah in a new land. But another interpretation, a Hasidic midrash, understands the phrase to mean "go into yourself," to learn who you are meant to be. This imagines Abram as an as yet to be actualized human being, an unrealized man who will ultimately gain insight and wisdom and become the world's first monotheist. It's an interpretation linked more to belief in one God. But perhaps my favorite interpretation comes from Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch, who lived a couple hundred years ago. He imagines Lech Lecha to mean not go to yourself or go into yourself, but go by yourself. Since a journey, as he says, like this, must be made alone. One must become a stranger to the world in order to view it clearly, a wanderer to find its resting point. Abraham is God's possession, not the world's. The aloneness of Abraham foreshadows that of all religious seekers, and above all, the aloneness of the people of Israel in their historic solitude. For Hirsch, the call of Abraham has a universal as well as a particular dimension to it. On one hand, it expresses the idea of the lonely person of faith, how spiritual seekers in general must often venture alone as they seek God, and how their unique perspectives and insights are only really possible when they often stand at the margins of society. On the other hand, Abraham's call is uniquely Jewish, in that the Jewish people have, throughout our history, lived apart from other peoples and communities. Often that separation and solitude was forced, it was compelled, such as when we lived in ghettos and shtetls, Jews have also often seen ourselves as different from other cultural and religious groups. And sometimes some Jews have seen ourselves as chosen. Lech Lecha does not represent a single journey by a single man. Abram is certainly the one who heard the divine call, but his steps have had lasting and multifaceted impact. His was a spiritual as much as a geographical journey. It is our mission and our challenge to listen to that same call in our own generation, the call to grow, the call to look within, the call to assess, and the call to respond to the world around us. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. I would like now to invite, we're going to turn to page 586 for the Aleinu. I'd like to invite Tula and Max to come up to the bima. Would you guys mind opening the ark for us? Tula, why don't you take the left side, and Max, you can take the right side. And everyone else, if you'd please rise. And I guess I will lead us in the Aleinu because I don't see Gordon. Go ahead and open the ark. So sing nice and loudly to drown me out. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tet gedula yotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonan, v'anachu korim u'mishachavi u'modi lifnei Malchei HaMalchim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar B'haya Adonai V'melech al kol haaretz Hayom hahu Yeh Adonai Echad U'shemo Great job. Please be seated. Thank you, Tula and Max. I'm going to ask all of those new members who I identified or who identified yourselves at the beginning of services to come up to the bima. And I'm going to ask Cynthia, you're pretty tall, and Fred to hold the talits on each side. Just open it all the way. And just hold it as high as you can. And if you would all just stand underneath the tallis, as soon as they get, no, you have to hold it, the ends.
Oh, you want to do, okay.
Yeah, like a chuppah. Okay, come on under. We'll see if we can all fit. Now, as you're coming forward, I said at the beginning of services, we talked a little bit about anti-Semitism, and not only is building a robust, strong, and joyful Jewish community one of the best ways to combat anti-Semitism, but joining the Jewish community, supporting the congregation, embracing the traditions of Judaism should be done out of love for it for its own sake. So I am so happy that all of you are with us tonight. Sometimes you really need to vote with your feet, and all of you over these last couple of years have voted with your feet and joined the Jewish community of Napa in this formal way. We are so honored and proud that you are a part of our community, and I personally, and I know I speak for many others here, really look forward to getting to know you more and more in the months and years ahead. And I'd like to offer a blessing to each of you. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence be with you and grant you peace. And let all of us say, Amen. Thank you. Okay, I can take that back. You can grab your seats. Didn't mean to surprise you guys, but that was good. You can just put it back up here. Thank you. I have the honor now, as we near the end of our service, of calling board member Allison Frost up to the bima to share some important announcements with you. Shabbat Shalom.
Members. It was great to see everybody. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that should be on.
Can you hear me? Okay. So the following announcements. Friday, tonight,
That's tonight.
we're hosting a special Ona to the new members and welcome to our synagogue and to our community. Sunday's November 6th.
What does it
No,
say?
it says November 5th.
Oh, we've had some typo issues. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
So November 6th at 10:30, Rabbi will be in person for Torah study at CBS. On the 9th at 7:30, the Rabbi will have the second of his fall seminar about the Siddur. It's an exploration of its history, structure, and meaning, and please RSVP online for this in-person program. It was excellent. I was blessed to go to the first one. November 11th, the synagogue office will be closed for Veterans Day. But in the evening for Kabbalat Shabbat services will still be held at 6 p.m. with our first Faces of Faith series. Rabbi will welcome Reverend Robin Denny to have a conversation during the service time. November 12th, the second Saturday, Tribe will be having a movie night, and you've probably seen that online. It's hosted by the Abramoviches and Arison Lopez families here at CBS. Starts at 6:30. I don't think they decided on the movie, but it'll be good. Sunday, November 13th, we have our coffee and chat tribe at 9:30. Lauren Snyder, our administrator, will be there, and I will be with her for that time. So anybody and everybody are welcome. November 14th, Talking Jewish Tribe will meet at CBS at 10:30. On the 15th, we'll have our first Lunch and Learn 5783, 38, and it will be held in person at CBS with a special guest speaker from Shasheret and Glasser. The topic is, it's a family issue, hereditary cancer in the Jewish community. Please RSVP online or contact Lauren. November 16th, the Napa Fire Department will be teaching CPR at 5:30. Also at 6:30 that same night, the tribe will, for Your Right to Resilience, will meet for the second time. Soul Sisters Book Club will be meeting at 4 p.m. via Zoom on November 21st and covering the book Turn Left on 10th by Delia Ephron.
And before you get to birthdays and anniversaries, I know Katie DePasqua had a quick announcement she wanted to add.
Good.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, come on up, come on up.
Hi, I'm Katie DePasqua, and she's talking about the tribes. One of the tribes we started is called Judaism. It's a cooking class, and I'm just organizing it. The class is you teaching. So if anyone has something that they would like to teach, it's on a Wednesday evening. So you show us what you're cooking, and you cook it, and then we eat it. That's the format. So I would just like, if anyone wants to do it, please contact me or contact the office and let us know. Thank you.
And how about the first ones in November? No, okay. Okay. So we would like to, at this time, give a warm wishes to the people's birthdays, anniversaries this week. Happy birthday to Farrah Garber. I think she's here. Yeah, happy birthday. Joan Harris. I don't know if she's here, Irene Yesovich, Suzanne Mason, Steve Gordon, Lily Miller, and Roberta Solomon. I know she's here somewhere.
She's here somewhere.
And happy anniversary to Dave and Charlene DeBro. Okay, thank you.
Our thoughts now turn to those who are no longer with us, those who have died both recently and in seasons past. We think of those who have died during the past 12 months. Richard Magano, Clark Smith, Stephanie Rabb-Axner, David Ernesto Kaplan, Pat Pate, Annette Goldberg, Maggie Sherman, Sandra Banco-Fichtenberg, Nicholas Huff, George Montano, Dean Wilson, Norman Charney, David Alpert, Renee Munoz, Michael Kassim, Paul Dworsky, Ed Eston, Micah Bicel, Jill Daly Katz, Gabriel Harrison Escalera, Colonel Ed West, Joe McCaffrey, Beverly Eigner, Ruth Morlett, and Lourdes Blake. And we also remember and honor the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Jerome Good, Bill Warfield, Janice Rummelsberg, Paul Benko, Dora Goldstein, Morris Nussbaum, Carl Friedman, Miriam Schmidt-Persillet, Pat Warfields, Elliot Kapchan, Vicky Kazes, Orville S. Cohen, Annie Nussbaum, Joseph Sorojan, Rosalie Becker, Gladys Shubin, Margaret Gert, and Marilyn Finkelstein. And if anyone has a name they wish to add to this list, I invite you to please do so. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. If you're able, please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divrach herete v'yamlich malchute, b'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, bagala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'tadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shmei dekudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Israel v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved, and let us all say amen. Please be seated. We have a final song, and then we're going to do Kiddush and Motzi and have a wonderful oneg waiting for us. This song I know is linked to what I talked about tonight. I don't know if you want to say anything about it.
No, you can. You already, I think, said something about it. Did you want? No, go ahead.
Well, it's a song about Lech Lecha. It's a song about the birth of the Jewish people, the birth of Judaism, and venturing forth into unknown territory fearlessly.
The music was written by Debbie Friedman. Page 645. Lechi lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechilah. Lechilah. And I shall make your name great. Lech lecha. And all shall praise your name. Lechilach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lechilach. You shall be a blessing. 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 Lechilah.
I'm going to invite Max and Tula to come up one more time, and everyone else to please rise as we do the Kiddush and Motzi. Max, I'm going to give you the wine because your mom's in the wine industry. So why don't you hold it and stand in the middle over there? And Tula, your mom's not in the food industry, but you love bread, so you can hold the challah. Okay. And let's all first say the Kiddush together. Max, would you just hold it up?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. L'chaim. I'll drink it. You can drink it in about how many years? Enough, okay. Okay, and Tula, would you hold the challah up?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. I forgot that time.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.